Hi, Gemini. Welcome to your October 2015 Tarotscope. It's Raina here. And so I think that you're going to be having a lot of romance in your life if you're single and looking. Now, if you're married, Saturn has gone into your seventh house, or if you're in a long term relationship. So, for what that's worth, that can do two things from what I read. It can either solidify a strong relationship and take it to the next level, which the seventh house is either a marriage or a long term partnership. So some of you might say, okay, we've been dating for 3 years, now we're going to live together, or now we're going to get married because our relationship is even more solid. Or it can do the opposite. It can put strain on a relationship, it can test a relationship. Saturn is a tester. So you don't have to fear Saturn. You just have to look at your relationship and how it is right now. But as for those people out there who are footloose and fancy free and are looking for a romance, I think this is awesome sauceroris because the first card I picked is your current state of mind, and I picked the Lover's card. So, by the way, I found out not too long ago that the Lover's card is connected to Gemini. So that's more synchronicity for you. But the Lover's card can indicate a choice. So maybe you have two suitors. And I don't know, can a suitor be a woman if a man is listening to this? I don't know. I don't know how that works in 2015. But it just seems like such an antiquated word, suitor. A beau or a beauess, okay? So some of you may be dealing with two beauesses or two suitors, and you have to decide. Or it could mean that you're in the mood for love, and that's terrific too. That's what we're looking for because that's how we attract love. Now, this could have nothing to do with love. This isn't a romantic reading. This is a general reading. I'm suspecting, though, that there is a whole theme of romance because the sun is in that fifth house as well for the first 3 weeks. That's where I'm going with this. I've already done a love forecast for Gemini that you can view on my channel. But this period of time just naturally features that. If you're single and looking, or even divorced and looking, having that activity in the fifth house is really good for that. And there's a new moon in that fifth house as well on the 12th of the month in the sign of Libra, 19 degrees of Libra. And so there may be a new development there, or you can set intentions for a love partner. And Venus has been in your third house for a while and is going into your fourth house of home and family on the 8th of the month. So, with Venus being in the house of your ruler, the third house of communications, some of you may have been hooking up with people online because the third house rules the internet. So, that's interesting. And then it goes into your home and family sector and makes things all nice and beautiful. You may want to make your house beautiful, or it might make your family relationships a lot more harmonious. Mars has been in the fourth house, and that kind of kicks up the energy. Sometimes there can be combative energy coming from Mars, so that's something to be mindful of. Jupiter is in this home sector as well. And so for the next year, you can count on blessings and expansion in your home and family sector. So that's actually very nice. What I will say is that with the full moon on the 27th happening in your 12th house, this is a time to really take advantage of clearing out any issues that are kind of buried within your psyche, because this has a tendency to kind of hold you back, whether it be your professional life or your personal life. And the full moon tends to illuminate situations that have been hidden. And in the 12th house, which is that place that the planets progress before they start a whole new cycle, this is really a good chance to kind of get rid of those ghosts that may be preventing you from living the most self actualized life you can. I must say, as usual, that this is a general reading. So while you may get a message that resonates with you in one aspect of this reading, it may not all resonate with you. If you would like a personal reading where I look at your personal chart, your natal chart, using your personal data, and also do a tarot spread that I've picked just for you, you can click on the link below. I have different services. I'm promoting a $19 love reading at the moment, but I also have a new life path reading, Goals of the Soul, that is $26 for a 35-minute reading. And it looks at what you possibly came here to do. The advice from the universe is the Queen of Rods, which is the Wands cards and related to the fire signs. And what this can mean is that some of you need to develop a very enthusiastic, positive nature. Sometimes Gemini people are prone to worry. And this is due to not only being a mutable sign, but being ruled by Mercury, which deals with our thinking. And being an air sign as well, Geminis tend to think too much sometimes, and you can get neurotic. And when you're neurotic, you lose your tendency to be exuberant, enthusiastic, which is what the fire signs and the wands represent, creativity and that sort of thing. And this card is reminding you to be more of that, um, especially if you have been a little bit of a worrywart in recent months. Remember that with Saturn entering Sagittarius, this opposes Gemini. So you're really going to have to make a conscious effort not to allow that kind of serious energy to affect you in a negative way. Now, the advice cards that you get are the Eight of Cups and the Nine of Swords. And so that's very interesting because the Eight of Cups talks about almost going on a religious quest, a spiritual quest. And this may mean that you do so literally and kind of like in that book, Eat, Love, and Pray, where you travel to somewhere far away and really kind of find yourself. But it could be as simple as going within and doing things which tap into your intuition and really finding out what makes you tick and what you want your life to be all about. Maybe some of you are really reconsidering some things and you need to take that time out for yourself, but you're not necessarily able to actually drop everything and leave physically to do it. The accompanying card of the Nine of Swords kind of points to that energy that I'm talking about, of the negative manifestation of Gemini, to think too much and to worry, to be up at night. But really, it's understanding that you kind of hold the key to that you can train your mind not to be so discursive and have discursive thoughts. And the way that you do that is through meditation or some other kind of practice that stills that monkey mind so that you're able to feel at peace. And then the outcome card is the Eight of Wands in reverse. And this means that you may be hearing some message and there may be some swift moving developments, but the timing may not be right at the very moment. Because we're in a Mercury retrograde, you may actually experience this. And remember that since you are ruled by Mercury, that you may be more affected by a Mercury retrograde. Some say that Geminis and Virgos handle it better, but there are different schools of thought on that. But in any case, that could be a very positive development that occurs that just is on its way and is being delayed temporarily. So I hope you enjoyed this reading, Gemini, and I wish you all the best in October. Bye.